caveats to it. Like, I believe there's like special rules when dealing with like opposed like force challenge checks because it's not like a force power. It's a tech power, so they have their own little situation there. But they have like a little bit of skill monkey and
isn't like piloting all under the tech stuff?
A lot of it, yeah. Piloting is like a dexterity skill and considered a technology skill. So yeah, like from what I recall, the best, I should say like the fastest like pilot builds tend to come out of like engineer, operative, scout, and like I think like sentinel. But that said, I wouldn't worry too much about that. Last time we were talking about Star Wars, y'all made it fairly clear that what you were sort of looking for was a primarily combat and challenge focused campaign with some with a fair amount of RP to supplement it. So I have been working under the assumption that you guys will, as a party, primarily be mostly Sith, even if in that 11th hour, maybe some of you guys want to like go in a different direction, because I know you were looking at tech-based class. It was engineer that you were looking at primarily, right? Because it's like it has like that spellcasting component to it, Mud.
I honestly have no interest in tech at all.
Really?
Yeah,
I'm wondering
none of
about
those
that impression then.
Yeah, none of those classes. I mean, I like my artificer. That's all fun, but I mean, some of the tech spells, all the illusion spells are on the tech side, so that sucks that I don't have those. I miss those. But no, like even those classes that are primarily tech based, I really don't appeal to me that much. To be fair, I haven't looked at it overly too much either, but.
So when you brought it up when you were looking at it, was it mostly just from a you were looking at gaps in our party build?
I was actually looking at some that would be fun to play that's a little bit different than what I've played so far.
Yeah.
So I wasn't like my artificer now is a tanky class, which is fun and all, but I didn't want to do that again. But I really do love CC, but yeah, I don't know. The idea of the Consular was just too appealing to me when you smash freaking 3 caster classes all together. So
it's true. It's true.
But I have looked at some feats and stuff that would allow me to pick from the tech list too, because I love the illusion spells.
Indeed. And they're handy, and like flavor-wise, like I think like the Sithic like terminology equivalent of Consular is like sorcerer or something. So like a Sith sorcerer, like just for flavor, they should absolutely have like it makes sense for them to have illusion-based force powers, and it would make sense to me that maybe they are tech-based. However, this character develops, like learn how to use some tech. Either way, I wholeheartedly approve that direction if you decide to go that way. I know Kat is eager to return to the bonk.
Yeah. Returning to the bonk with my highest stat being charisma.
Episode 6, Return to the Bonk. Charisma again.
I know.
Well, who knows? Maybe the longer we keep doing this, the more and more comfortable you'll get with RP. Until you finally admit that you're not too bad at it.
Nope.
But I have been working on like a revolving roster of supplemental NPCs who won't be helpful in combat. Unless absolutely necessary, like they aren't going to be built to be extra party members in a combat situation. You guys are Sith, so it would make more sense that you would be the first responders in those situations. You would be the most capable to deal with direct threats like that. But like NPCs that you can bounce ideas off of with and like and interact with while also providing necessary functions for your crew, right? Either to help the ship be in operation or to help facilitate whatever missions you're assigned. Assistance, in other words, a PA staff, whom you can utilize or abuse at your discretion, you monsters.
Unwilling assistants, like slaves.
I'm thinking there's going to be a smattering. I have a couple of ideas bouncing around. I know that a couple of them are droids, so they're just going to be kind of neutral. But it would be interesting, I think, to have maybe some of these individuals not necessarily wanting to be there, but there's also a couple that I have in mind who are like Imperial forces or whatever, like serving you is their job that they are paid to do. While others might be more yeah, you guys might have a slave. You might also have the opportunity to take on the services of a bounty hunter or informants or guys like that. Either way, you will have people and contacts that will supplement whatever perceived gaps you guys might have that would otherwise like prevent you from proceeding with the plot. For example, if nobody decides to put too much points into piloting, which I mean with the story setup would be fair, then you will have a pilot. But that will be like their own character that you'll get to meet and determine your own like relationships with, and see how that goes from there. And now, hilariously, there's the chance that they might be addicted to death sticks, which could make space combat encounters extremely fun and dangerous.
Is there an easier way I can create my character?
You have to find a builder better than the one they have on the 5e site itself. I've looked.
Like, I'm just editing it directly.
You should be able to you should be able to use the compendium to drag and drop. Let me fire it up. You should be able to use the compendium. To drag and drop everything, your class, your species, all of that stuff directly onto your sheet, and then it should create pop-up prompts to kind of charactermancer work through the finer details.
Oh, that's
Let's see.
I believe on the GitHub it suggests making sure you go through the drag and drop process in the same order that the book suggests that you do character creation.
Oh.
So like species first, then class, and et cetera, et cetera.
I did species and then background. But then I had to edit all my stats manually.
It might just have to be the case.
And right now, all I can search in the compendium is just the classes.
Hey Teddy, do you know? So I have Foundry, like on my desktop.
Yeah.
Is there a way for me to get this game onto my own Foundry? I don't remember. I don't know if that's a thing that we can do. Like I have
Like
my own
the whole
license.
game.
Yeah.
Uh,
I don't know if there is.
no, it would probably register to your own character. You wouldn't have like GM privileges unless I gave you that.
Oh no, I don't care for that. I was just that way that way I don't have to go through Chrome or anything because I have Foundry. So.
Oh, you mean direct connect to the game directly through Foundry?
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, no, I don't think there's a way to do that.
Oh, okay.
The reason I'm using Forge is to give people the ability to access their respective games without me having to set up multiple computers and have a constant server running for all of them.
Gotcha.
Which, if I had more money, I wouldn't mind doing in theory. But for the time being, I just can't afford that.
I see.
Forge is pretty good though, as like a server hosting service. It sometimes have issues, but I've had far less issues than with Roll20.
Interesting.
And of course, we'll go over all this as well when we do a proper session 0. But since the conversation has led to Star Wars, do we have any other burning questions or inquiries I would like to ask on that subject before we get to the main event? Unless we legitimately all just want to talk about Star Wars for the next couple hours.
Not gonna lie, that's low-key more interesting than side questing. I don't know. I'm still swinging wildly between Guardian, Sentinel, and wanting to talk to Teddy about homebrewing another operative subclass that has force that's not just mind force. Why do they always want to give rogues like mind control magic or force powers and not, oh, I'm sneaky and can do other things?
You can build a sentinel that way. You can. I believe you have the know-how.
Oh, sorry, I meant operative.
I know. You said operative. I'm saying you could do that with sentinel.
Why don't I have a plus?
That's true.
But now that's kind of bothering me. I'm gonna poke around some forums really quick if we're all right with that to see if there is a way to connect someone's Foundry game to a Forge brand system.
Let me see if I can.
Why are you the way you are?
Let me open up my Foundry and see if there's anything I can do. But I know you can like add games, but it's more like adding worlds.
Yeah.
Let's see. So I have the option to install a world, and you would have to save it basically as its own package. And then whenever you turn it, and then whenever you're running it.
Yeah, I would have to export the whole game, and then you would have to install it
Yeah.
on your own end.
Yeah, that's a lot of work. No, thank you. I won't put you through that, Teddy, just for a little bit of ease of access. Plus, I'd have to find the Star Wars. Because are we running 5e rules on Foundry?
Yeah. So the if you want to like check out the system that we'll be using, we're still using version 12. We're not using version 13 yet because I have some other games that don't have updated infrastructure for 13. Kat can tell you about that. Kingmaker was a fucking mess.
Yeah.
When 13 just dropped. So we're using V12 closing, the latest version 12.
Yeah.
So for the game system, you'll want Dungeons and Dragons 5th edition.
Oh,
And then you will want to install this module. I'll link in Discord.
Oh,
Okay.
is that how I can transfer sheets?
Like from the old game to this game?
From the I don't know.
Or how do you mean?
From the Star Wars 5e website.
Does it allow you to download a JSON?
I don't know.
Yes, you should. There's I just exported my character, so if you go to, there should be a export to Foundry VTT. Copy file, and then go to Actions tab, Foundry, click Import Character. Copy, paste.
Actions.
We might not have access to that, but that might be.
All right. Time's ticking, so let's do a quick vote. If we are largely in favor of splitting up time more for getting familiar with some Star Wars stuff and talking Star Wars stuff, and then maybe doing some hirelings things later on, I would like to know that now so I can give you guys a discount for today's session.
I was just fucking around while we were waiting. What we do don't matter to me.
Yeah, I'm kind of game for whatever. I believe Glade was getting his ass kicked. But aside from that,
Dealing with a giant.
yeah,
Yeah, I'm okay either way. It doesn't matter to me.
Hmm. All right then. I'm going to go ahead and
Goodbye.
it's that time. I'm going to go ahead and knock $5 off per player. For today's session. That'll make me feel more better about it. And also, okay, I'll talk about this when Bud gets back. But yeah, if I'm gonna go ahead and like stream this real quick because I know some folks are visual learners.
Thank you.
And you get to see all of my disgusting tabs.
Ooh, fancy.
My brother in Christ.
So basically, when you want, if you have a JSON, and assuming that it works, if it doesn't work, we'll just make a fresh sheet, and it's fine. But for example, if you make your character on whatever platform that allows you to get a JSON file, it has to be a JSON file. You would right click your sheet.
Oh.
From there,
That's
and
how
then
you do it.
import data. You hit browse, and that takes you to your appropriate.
Oh.
From there, you track down your sheet file directly, and then hit import. And if it's compatible, then it will autofill everything.
Ooh, yeah, fancy.
Alternatively, over in Compendium, under the Star Wars 5e system content, which we'll be using, we don't need to worry about D&D Legacy or D&D Modern content for the most part. For the purposes of character creation, you shouldn't have to deal with it at all. But in here should be mostly everything you need to worry about. For example, in features, that's where you have all of your character creation stuff. That's where you'll find all your classes, all of your feats, all of your species, etc., etc. And then from there, you should just be able to pick whatever, drag it to your sheet with your sheet open, and it will go through all that stuff.
So if it doesn't appear to be working, but that's okay. So you said you recommended that we should like if we're gonna build it from Foundry just to follow the like you do the pick base, pick your class, stuff like that in that order.
Yes, that's how it's suggested in the system. And if you're gonna make your own world with this setup, then Michael, your JSONs should be perfectly fine for that. I can't say for the 5e sheet to Goria. Oh yeah. Right on.
Oh, I don't remember what I chose.
Well, I mean, we still have plenty of time. So, I wouldn't worry too much about locking in on to one thing or another.
Yeah, I just registered. I know nothing about this. I've watched 0 tutorials, so I know nothing.
No worries. Foundry does sometimes can seem like a lot, and it does have a bit of a learning curve on the GM side of things. But as a team, we'll figure it out. In particular, now that Mud's here, I can give Mud a sheet. When you come into the game for the first time, there should be a prompt for a tour, and if you're unfamiliar with Foundry, I highly recommend taking that initial tour just to get familiar. However, with the basics, well, there will be some differences. Most of the basics are pretty familiar from Roll20. You have your toolbar to the left, and your tabs and your information to the right. The tabs as follows go: chat, combat encounters, so that's like your initiative tracker. You might not be able to access scenes depending on the permissions I give you. But actors, which is like the little guy, items, journal, rollable tables, which might become relevant depending on certain powers, cards, if card stacks become a thing, and they will become a thing because I'll be importing Pazak and stuff. Music, and the compendium packs. For the time being, the ones you'll be most and settings, of course. The tabs you'll be in most often are your chat messages, actors, and the compendium packs. And of course, when we start doing combat encounters as well. And if you right-click any of those tabs, they will pop out as their own thing. Which you can move around and use at your leisure. Really nice to have a separate combat tracker, for example. So if you want multiple of these windows open at once, you can just right-click them. And like with any window, if you double-click the header of any window, they'll just minimize like that, just like in Roll20. But basically, for character creation, you'll want to operate out of the compendium. And everything is drag and drop. If you want to do it yourself, feel free to do so yourself. If any of you would like any help, call on me. I'm happy to do it. If you'd rather not. But yeah, in compendium, in your compendium packs, the main folder you're looking for is Star Wars 5e system content. Features. And then most everything that you'll be looking for is found in that folder. If it's not in there, like for example, force powers will be found in powers and maneuvers, as will maneuvers and text powers, the tech powers. And equipment has its own folder as well. But for your baseline character creation stuff, you'll find most of that in features.
Let's see. That will.
Okay, it's all coming together now.
So, for example, we'll make a test 2 over here. Bye, buddy. This is what a fresh sheet should look like.
Okay.
As you'll see, doesn't have a race, doesn't have a background, has no information filled in. There isn't like a character mancer, but everything is set up for drag and drop for the most part. And after some testing, I haven't encountered any issues so far. But yeah, basically how it would work, we'd go down to species. Let's make a droid. I like droids.
Roger.
Make a little protocol droid. You take your species, you drag it over to your sheet, and then it brings up a pop-up menu
interesting.
like this.
I didn't have those plus or minuses when I did it.
And you dragged it from the compendium?
No. Instead of drag and drop, I just clicked add race.
Interesting.
And it didn't allow me to plus or minus my scores. So I had to go in the back end and edit it manually.
I see.
That's why I'm like, for Foundry being as snazzy as it is, this is kind of a pain in the ass.
I'm sorry that you've had to deal with that initially.
Oh,
But you also know firsthand the future advantages.
Yeah. No. Please continue. I was
No worries. So yeah, if you're given a prompt like this, it'll give you how many points you can distribute, where you can distribute them, stuff that's already locked in, where it goes. Like with intelligence, you just hit next. And a lot like Character Mancer, it goes through all of this type of stuff. Let's go lore as a proficiency. And he's a protocol droid. So how about Persuasion. It gives you a breakdown of all the features that come with your species right here. You can toggle them on or off if for some reason you don't want any of that stuff. I would recommend not messing with any of this, but homebrew things might require that type of thing. Hit complete. Then it compiles all of that into your sheet. It's the same thing with backgrounds. Let's make this protocol droid.
A Jedi.
A Jedi. Let's give him politician. So yeah, it's a similar situation where it'll give you a series of drop-down menus, and you can select what you need. Your background feat through this process as well, as you can see. We'll make our droid a linguist. And then most of the process from there
People
is.
saying things, or can I just not hear him?
Can you hear me? Can you hear me, Cat? Oh no.
Oh, now I can hear you.
Oh, welcome back. I know Google's been having a day.
Yesterday there was a nationwide outage for Microsoft and Google. Phone systems and emails were down.
Yeah, it's been rough for them, and it's been affecting everything else that's connected to it. Yeah, if we can all hear. Yeah, so on your details tab, you go through your species and background, and then you go over to features where you have most of your class information. Just pick classes. We'll make our protocol droid a scholar. There we go. That's out. And it's the same type of deal. You just follow the directions. It'll go through all of your class proficiencies, weapon proficiencies, armor proficiencies, tool proficiencies. Let's make our droid. Let's make our droid good at chess. And then it does most of the back-end stuff right from there. It's important to note that you have your tabs on this sheet on the right side of your sheet. Keeps track of all that. Our droid does not have any special powers to speak of. Under effects, you'll be able to see your passive effects as well as conditions and tagging them off and on when necessary. A biography tab with all that information that you want to fill in there. And special traits, which we don't need to worry about at the moment. But this is where you would find stuff like on your Roll20 sheet, things like Halfling Luck, Powerful Build, things of that nature. From there, still most everything is just drag and drop from here. If you get to choose another feat, it's another matter of just clicking and dragging it.
Oops. Why is all this stuff just popping out?
And I still need to do some settings work on the back end. So if I can figure it out, I'm not sure if we'll be doing experience or milestone yet. But that could change. Assuming that we're going to be working with experience, which is the default, when you get the appropriate amount of experience, it will give you a prompt for leveling up. Do we have any questions so far?
If I send you a picture, they can update my my icon, my character token.
For sure. Where did you send it?
I'm gonna send it over on Discord.
For sure. You guys are ready to go. Already got pictures and shit.
Now, how do you change your picture?
You can set it when you originally create your icon, or Teddy can manually do it because he has admin rights.
That's true. So basically, typically how it would work is you see this hooded guy right here? That is your portrait.
You should be able
But
to click
interestingly enough,
the.
Hmm?
There should be some little icons at the very top, the little token icons. There you go. That should be where you should
There we
be
go.
able to edit it.
Yeah, that just toggles it for me.
It's
I only see me.
yeah, those
I wanted
ones.
to see the picture.
Yeah, whenever I click portrait or token, it just toggles to the shadow face. But
Prototype
actually-
token is not opening for me either. Come on, Foundry, don't do this to me.
I know there's a way. Either that, or you have to right click on the character.
I might just need to refresh.
From the actor list. And then whoa, how did I do it? There we go.
Do I have to configure ownership? Is that I'm
Uh,
also owning it, which would be ridiculous.
Probably.
Never. No, I just need to reset. A refresh got me my privileges back. Is there a particular Are you okay with black for a border color?
Yeah.
Or is there anything else you'd like in particular?
Nope, that's good.
All right, how do you like the look of this?
Perfect.
So yeah, going into prototype token, which I believe you should all have permission for your own sheets, though you might have less options than me, should grant you access to this type of stuff. It is operating with my my assets though, so there might be some limitations, but I've had players who are able to change their portraits before in other games. So we're just going to very quickly add Michael's portrait.
I did not. Right.
Sweet.
I'm not sure why I didn't update on the actors list. Hopefully that'll just fix itself eventually. Oh, I see. I see the problem.
What?
You can toggle between your portrait, which should give you a full image, which if you want, I can upload the full image you sent me for the proper portrait, and then the token image.
Sure, that works.
Is that how that's supposed to work?
How do you mean? Which was supposed to work?
I think I did my ability scores wrong,
Ah.
but I don't know if I did do my ability score.
Do we just have to manually enter those base ability scores?
I did.
That's what I had to do. So that's I have a 15 is the highest I can get at a base, and then I can get a +2 from my race, and then I get a +1 from my background.
Well, depending on what feat you choose, yeah. But if you choose a feat that doesn't, I think most of them do, but your feat would give you one based on the background that you choose.
So I could have an 18 at level 1.
Correct.
Wow.
You can have an 18 at level 1 in 5e with base 5e with enough canoodling. Canoodling's not the right word. That means something different. But with the right, you can get an 18 at level 1.
So, yeah.
But
put it
also,
at-
combat is heightened in Star Wars 5e as well, so it's a bit more lenient.
So 15 is the highest I can get at base. Just from raw stats. And then I got a +2 from my race. And then my background can give me +1 depending on the feat.
Yes, sounds right.
And there should be an additional +1 in there from your race too somewhere.
Yeah, but it's the yes. I get a +1 to some. I get a +1 con, +2 charisma. But that means I go from 15 base +2 from my race brings it to 17, and then my background gives me an additional +1 charisma. I did not think I could get that high this soon.
Why not?
Is it? I was gonna say, is it straight standard array, or didn't you say it's array or by point by?
Array or point by. I was
by.
also because this game is for fun and for evil. I was toying with the idea of rolling for stats.
I hate that idea so much.
I kind of inclined to agree.
But I would say for safety, assume that is point by or standard array. And if you guys want to risk a roll when everybody's together and we do a proper like session 0, we can all agree. Because I don't want to like, if we agree that we're rolling stats, everyone is rolling stats. That's just kind of unfortunately like the only way that's even remotely fair.
As much as I would like to push for rolling stats, I know how much some people in this group just love to overplan their builds, and I don't think that would go well for everyone.
I did see an alternative where you roll for stats, but then it's a draft. Or you draft rolls. I'll take that 18, please.
Yeah, drafting rolls is how I prefer to do it. My most familiar method is roll 7, pick 6.
Okay, how did you do the picture again? Because it's not letting me change it.
It might be because of my admin privileges.
Huh.
So you might have to send me images, and then I'll do it on my end.
I just remember spending most of my D&D life playing 3d6, drop the lowest, reroll ones.
Pardon me, gentlemen. My cat's making a fuss. I'm going to make sure he's not getting into trouble. I can still hear, though. I'll just be right back.
Alright. Oh, that's a different tab. I think my sheet is set up. Question mark.
Okay, if one of my dumb DM ideas that happened to me while I was a player if you got 46 and were allowed to keep the max roll of 24, what would you do with it?
You mean 18s across the board?
No, if you got 4 6s on your 46 and you didn't have to drop one, what would you want to do with the 24?
Dexterity or Constitution? High initiative or high HP?
Ask the GM why he'd let us do this.
It was only his second campaign, and he said he wanted to make the fights harder, so I rolled a wizard with 24 intelligence. It did not go well for him.
Strength.
Oh, the things you could do with that.
It's second edition strength. Now roll a percentile.
What edition are we talking?
Spent most of the time doing this in 3rd or 3.5.
In 3.5. In 3.5, my answer would be dexterity. Or intelligence. I would actually go with intelligence for 3.5.
Especially the way they do skill points.
Yep. For 5e, depending on the type of campaign that we're doing, it's either strength or wisdom for me. I mean, I kind of feel like there's no wrong answer, but I would go full aggro. Burn bright and fast and kick down every door I see. Either that, or if it's like an investigation game, I want to dominate every insight check that I come across and passive perception through the roof.
Honestly, good answers.
I think I heard Kat ask how to change Victor's.
Yeah.
Well, with these sheets, are you still watching?
Yeah.
With these sheets, you can toggle between a portrait and your token, right?
Uh-huh.
They're different things. Your portrait is what is going to show up in the actors tab.
Sure.
Your token is going to be your token image.
Yep.
So you'll want to like have the toggle open. Toggle state open for editing, and then just click on the image, and then a menu like this.
Image.
Yeah, click on the hooded man.
Nothing's coming up.
Right. So that means it has to go through me, unfortunately.
Okay, that's fine.
I will look into what sort of permissions are needed. Fuck, we're in overtime.
Oh, fucking.
Or I think we're in overtime. I'll have to check later. Honestly, I should probably just close that tab.
That worked.
But yeah, if we're wondering what we're doing, Baloo is hard committed to Guardian.
Is that Paladin?
Yeah. I mean, They're not gonna be like fully 1-to-1.
Yeah, but it's just
Um,
it's good for me being like Guardian equals Paladin, even though I know
Yeah.
it's not a Paladin. But how did you
Guard-
get your Star Wars
Hmm.
5e to be black?
I asked it
want-
nicely.
What
You
dark
go
mode?
to the homepage, you go scroll all the way to the bottom, and there's a join the dark side
Jesus
toggle.
fucking Christ! Oh, thank you. My eyes.
No worries. Yeah. The closest approximation is Guardian. There's enough wiggle room to kind of make what you want.
That's fine.
But yeah, it's the lightsaber force using specialist.
Okay.
Guardian is a big armor, big lightsaber. Consular is dedicated caster. Sentinel is skill monkey.
Bless you.
Excuse me. Thank you. Paladin, sorcerer. I don't know. Sentinel kind of like takes up its own funny spot. It is mostly a caster though, but it's a caster that comes with, I don't know, arcane trickster. You could build a solid arcane trickster out of Sentinel.
I feel like it also covers like your blade singers and your blade locks.
Yeah, that's kind of the archetype that it's sort of going for. Mechanically, it doesn't really have like a 1-for-1 comparison with typical 5e, but in concept, it is that type of like. They are a martial combat class because of lightsaber, but they prefer the more dexy builds, lighter armor, supplemented with force powers. Hexblade Warlock.
Oops.
Oops, what's oops?
I'm just seeing how I can put that I'm proficient with a disguise kit. I've given myself one, but I don't. And then I edit it to make myself proficient with it. Is that just how I do it?
Let me take a look at your sheet.
And it says I'm proficient with it. But I did edit it. But yeah, like why on the main page I don't have like tool proficiencies or anything that I can see? Yeah, see down there. Oh. Well, that's simple.
I think the thing we got to get used to, and what's important to note, is that if we want to change most of anything, we should make sure our edit toggle is on.
Yeah. I'm not used to that. I'm used to just Foundry doing it. And it working. Okay.
But on the other end of things, it does give us a lot more direct control. Know where everything's at.
Where's our money? Is that in the inventory?
Your money should be
There.
under inventory. It's right here.
How do I add? Convert? No.
You
Transfer?
click on the coins.
All. Transfer. How do I give myself money? Oh, do I just do it over here?
Yeah, you should be able to just insert it directly.
Okay.
Oh,
But if
there's
we-
encumbrance. Uh-oh.
There is encumbrance.
Oh, it has a nice
And-
little attunement slot.
And I do want to track encumbrance for this game. I might strand you on the occasional alien moon or whatever.
The moon.
Yeah, especially if a lot of you guys are still planning on apprenticing under the primal Sith Lord. He's going to want to put you in situations where your survival skills are tested. So inventory management and encumbrance are going to be a thing.
I can't find any of the 5e stuff in any of the tabs for this, though. Oh, never mind.
What fight?
Ignore my ignorance.
Well, make sure you're only looking in the Star Wars 5e system content. The D&D Legacy and Modern stuff you can ignore. We don't need it.
Are we starting ourselves with things in our inventory?
No, but make note of the stuff you should be getting. If you survive, you will be granted those things. But with what I have started, when we do start, your position will not leave you with that equipment.
Are the vibro weapons, does that just mean it's martial? Essentially?
Most vibro weapons are martial. Some of them will be simple. Most of them are martial.
What the fuck? I don't know what to choose.
Choose for what?
A weapon.
I would recommend not worrying about it right now.
I'm gonna, but I know I shouldn't.
I suggest a lightsaber.
Well, you guys ain't going to start with a lightsaber. I'm going to tell you that right now. That's going to be its whole dedicated story arc.
What's the difference between an unarmed strike and a martial art?
A regular unarmed strike is not supplemented with monk features or anything like that. Martial art is kind of an upgrade from a basic unarmed strike. You do an unarmed strike within a martial art. Different martial arts allow you to do different things. Stunning strike, things like that. But if we're going to be chatting about builds and what we're thinking, I want to hear from Jekt. What sort of sentinel you're thinking of building with the good old Mitoons?
Whoa.
Which, by the way, I'm very glad you're taking this campaign seriously.
Hey, he is a very serious cat.
That's what I said.
I'm definitely thinking of going path of aggression. So it's going to be a lot of using force powers to empower physical strikes. And for the first part of the campaign, I'm definitely thinking on leaning into unarmed since I get racial bonuses on it.
Right on.
This won't mean as much to everyone, but he's probably going to be a very good mix between Eberron's Jex and Fabula's Jet.
You're gonna be doing unarmed attacks.
Yes.
Okay.
Not entirely sure where his skill sets are going to lie, since I'm still trying to go through the backgrounds. But he's very going to be a support melee and backup caster with some stealth and skill monkey stuff.
Yeah, the Sentinels gets sneak attack, I think, don't they? Something equivalent? Or am I misremembering?
They have this thing called force casting, which basically gives me 3 different powers with my kinetic or force die. I can add it to my AC as a reaction. I can add it to my attack to deal extra damage, or I can use it to increase my speed.
Okay. Pretty cool.
And then they get to take fighter styles as their ideals, so I'm gonna dip into 2-weapon fighting so I can double smack a bitch. Because Mittens, the cat this is based on, once slapped my brother-in-law so hard it gave him a bruise.
Very good. So you're working towards a dual weapon fighter, lots of self buffs, a supplemental combatant. It sounds like you're expecting there to be a more dedicated melee specialist and a more dedicated force casting specialist, but you can aid either. Kind of jack of all trades.
Yes. And I'm still debating if I want to multi-class into operative for a little bit more like sneak and some more skill stuff, or if I want to use the Star Wars specific splash class feat that just gives you the sneak attack. If you guys haven't looked at
consider.
If you guys haven't looked at the splash class stuff, it's actually pretty interesting.
What section would we find that?
It's under customize options. You have to take the feat to gain it, and then you get to pick one class, and each class gives you one of their class abilities.
That's pretty cool. So characters, customization options, splash class. I know that might be interesting for Cat.
Huh?
Well, I know you have a build sort of set ahead of you, but I know you're having a lot of issue with whether or not how to balance your Berserker and Monk
Oh, yeah.
stuff. You might want to look into splash class improvements and see whether or not you want to mess with that
What
as
is
an alternative.
Curious, has anybody figured out how to add force powers yet? Everything I try to click and drag just goes under innate.
Under innate.
So I have one called Sap Vitality that went to innate spellcasting. I think you have to like edit it in details or something. Yeah, power level, first level.
Consular. All right. Well, we are under your spellcasting tab. So at will is going to be like your cantrips and stuff. Features, force powers.
Every time I try to click and drag, though, it gives a whole new category that says innate power casting. But
Yeah, I see that.
and I tried even to click on the.
Okay. So if you right click, go to edit. Under details, there's the D&D 5e spell preparation mode. It should be prepared, packed, always prepared, at will, innate, ritual, power casting. I think it needs to be changed to power casting. Yep,
Oh, so
that
this,
moved it to my first levels.
This splash class just gives you like a key ability of the class without actually going into it.
Yes, essentially.
Could you repeat that, Michael?
Yeah, so if you right click on the spell level or effect, go to edit, and then under the details tab, and then that D&D 5e preparation mode. It's like the top, it's underneath the Constitution Ritual Free Learn. Yep, right there. And then
Yes.
change that to power casting. And then that should be able to get it as a leveled skill.
All right, I got it.
Thank you, Michael.
You
Have
are
an inspiration for this game.
It goes away in 10 IRL minutes.
No. Any inspirations we get tonight and you don't use, you can carry over to the next game for whichever characters we're playing next game. The player has the inspiration of the character.
Hold on.
Looks like Mud has that under control.
6, 7.
By the way, some of you guys might have noticed something called a Dice So Nice when you first got in. You can get into those settings either through that message in chat, or you can go to your game settings, configure settings, and go down to Dice So Nice. And under 3D settings, you can muddle about.
Am I doing this right?
Doing what right?
I'm not doing this right. So
What are we not doing right?
I'm just looking at the Zeltron characteristics determining height and weight, and it says height is 4'8" plus 2d10, and it's like, so I did that and I got 6'7", which I'm like, that's kind of tall, but okay. And then I got weight, which it says 90 pounds, and then it says times 2d4, and I got 7. So 90 times 7 is 630. That don't seem right though.
No, you don't. You roll the dice and then you add that to the base 90.
Oh, you add. Wait, what? But it says times. It says 2d4. I'm on the Star Wars 5e page, looking at Zeltron.
Yeah, fucking ignore that. Just put whatever you want.
But I wanted the roll.
Well, you can roll, but add it. Don't multiply it. Don't multiply any number by 90.
So I'm just okay.
It'd be ridiculous.
It is, and that's why I'm like, wow, okay.
Zeltron's thick.
All right. If it's addition, then I guess it's 97 pounds. Giving TJ shit for being 90 pounds, and now here I am.
Michael, can you tell us more about Asadora's build and what you kind of intend to do with her mechanically?
Asadora is a sentinel, and I plan on kind of giving her the wizardy monk type of build, because I'm basing her off of
She's a Night Sister, yeah?
yeah, she's a Night Sister, with elements taken backstory-wise and element-wise that will form her character as the Aes Sedai from Wheel of Time and the Bene Gesserit from Dune. Yeah, she's a Night Sister. She's been betrayed by her sisters. So she's on a revenge plot for sure. Let's see, what did I think I filled some stuff out. I did.
Just can't see your card.
Yeah, I really haven't kind of gone into what I'm going to kind of what later classes I'm going to do, but she's a Force pureblood, Sith pureblood Force user, heavily on Force, super crazy tactician, and like almost a spy to an extent of just how persuasive and perceptive she is. She can definitely read people, read a room, and is able to get answers as needed. But I wanted to go for like she could be underestimated, and when she is deadly.
Knows how to target the weaknesses in her opponents. Well, I can definitely fuck with that. I dig that. Kind of strikes me as a Inquisitor meets Femme Fatale.
Yeah.
Right on. You understand that Kat's character, you might have to like be or delegate a handler while you're doing social stuff. Not that Serafina can't, but you told me some shit, and that character is going to be an agent of chaos.
Me?
Don't try to sound all innocent.
I didn't know if you were talking about me or Michael's character.
No, I'm just kind of already foreseeing a potential like odd couple situation. It sounds like Michael's Asadora is going for that Inquisitor Femme Fatale sort of deal where when needed she can sort of like play assassin and saboteur, but a lot of her skill set is also going to be towards like a persuasion and interrogation and sussing out the motivations of the people she's talking to.
Yeah.
Whereas from what I understand from Serafina as a person, she's a lot more direct and plans to be a lot more direct.
Yeah.
So not to necessarily color your relationship early, I can see the two personalities clashing in interesting and hopefully entertaining ways. Serafina being something of an agent of chaos, and Asajora having to maybe sometimes be the fun police to get some things done.
Here's a question.
Yeah.
Are we all having to be evil?
It is an evil campaign. That's what you guys wanted to do. You don't have to be evil. You can do your roleplay decisions however you want. I am operating under the assumption that at the very least this is going to be a morally flexible party, and at the very least, you'll be starting on the side of the Sith, right? With it being an evil campaign, I am going to be presenting situations that will either give you an opportunity to be reprehensible monsters or challenge your allegiance to the dark side. But you are going to be like trained by Sith Lords. You are working for the Old Republic Empire, trained from within the Sith. Way back when we decided to do this, we agreed a Sith campaign, which at least initially and conceptually aligns with an evil campaign. You can play good if you want. That could be very, very interesting. I do endorse that. I am under the impression that is not what this party in general is interested in doing. Like, you can do whatever you want, and you sent me your backstory. If your character isn't evil with a backstory like that, I have fucking questions.
So the chaotic part, perfectly fine.
The chaotic part, perfectly fine, but like, you can't convince me that your character's neutral.
Okay.
For point of reference, I don't want to go too deep into it because I want there to be a little bit of prestige, but the cat's playing a fucking serial killer. So
No.
yeah, what would you...
Listen, I sex traffic first, then I kill them.
That's just part of the modus operandi. Come on now. Can't trick me, Zodiac. No, I can't believe that the Zodiac killer sex trafficked anybody. He's got the riz of a moldy potato. But I am expecting there to be varying degrees of evil, different definitions of evil. I'm expecting some of you to have a more optimistic view of the dark side. And the Sith Lords that you will be serving under have their own philosophies on what the dark side represents. So yeah, play your characters however you want, but you are being trained to be dark side users or in the service of dark side users, so take that as you will. And it sounds like for sure Serafina and Nasajora have no problem with that.
Nah. No.
No. Anything to get
And
ahead.
let's not forget Mud's character, who's not a serial killer, but definitely a drug dealer.
I don't know.
Culturally a drug dealer.
You could argue he's a serial killer. You get somebody addicted to drugs, they'll kill themselves eventually.
Yeah, fair enough. A murderer within the long game.
That's right. It'll be years and years and years.
All right. I think my character is all set up.
Where's attacks under these sheets?
It's weapons.
Attacks, it'll be through your equipment.
Yeah, you gotta go equipment and then weapons, and then you gotta pick blasters, light weapons, or viper.
Where could I find my race unarmed for that?
Huh?
It's already under your class features under clause. So if I were to click clause. Oh, I see. It only does damage. I will figure this out.
Okay, follow-up question. Is there a way to change the size of this? Because I can't actually scroll down past languages.
Yeah, it's on the bottom right. Bottom right corner, there's that little 3-dot lines which you can resize your sheet.
You'll want to make sure that you're in edit mode. That toggle is in your top left-hand corner of your sheet. But don't forget your tabs on the right side of your sheet. That goes between your details, inventory, features, and etc.
Oh.
Well, that's a good deception check.
What are we looking at?
Yeah, what Mitunes?
Oh, I see.
See, I can't actually get farther down.
Yeah, your character sheet is bigger than your screen.
Are you
I can't-
streaming right now? Or?
No.
Oh, I see. Interesting.
He can't resize his character sheet because it goes past his screen.
That you should be able to resize.
You can't, because you can only do it from the bottom right corner, and he can't access the bottom right corner because
Have
it goes.
have you set your
Yes.
make
Did you?
your window smaller?
No. Go into the Foundry settings and lower your font size.
Or
'Cause-
control or zoom out. That'll help too.
Because Foundry, if you increase the font size, it does do funky shit. Did you get it, Jax?
I tried font size and it made everything smaller, but it still doesn't scroll down past languages.
Yeah, you might have to like control your control dash in order to just
I mean-
slightly zoom out one.
It looks like your entire browser window is going underneath
Yeah.
your taskbar,
Yeah.
which I think is part of the problem because you should be able to resize
Can you
your
hide
window as well.
Can you hide your taskbar? Oh. Oh. See.
No, but fucking with everything made tabs show up on the side of it that lets me see what I need to see.
What kind of tabs?
Yeah, those are supposed to be there.
Yeah, they weren't there until I started messing with things. Foundry's been... Now I'm getting a resolution error? Maybe that's my problem.
I think you need a new potato from the store and to replace it with your current potato.
That's probably valid.
What's this button? Hmm. Okay.
Still just doing that. Okay, we'll figure this more out later.
Oh, I see.
Remind me again what damage type your claws do.
Kinetic.
Kinetic.
And their dice size? It's a D6,
1d6.
right?
Oh, hell yeah.
Jeez. Oh, that's here to hit modifier.
All right, there we go. That should be working
Hey.
now, and you can drag that onto your hotbar to make that easier. So as part of the prep process, I'll make sure everybody has an unarmed strike. But I'm not going to worry about that too much right now. Nice. Nicely done. You've managed to temporarily power a toaster. So yeah, it'll take some adjusting, but there's a lot of quality of life things. Once we get everything set up, there's a lot of quality of life things. That should make gameplay a lot easier. For example, I really like the hotbar that Foundry has. It makes things a lot easier for favorite moves and powers. And equipment, so hopefully we'll get a lot of use out of that.
Where do I find force powers, Mud?
I know I'm not Mud, but you go into compendium packs, character options, just like the others. But instead of features, or no, in features, you want to go into features. And you want to go close to the bottom of that and find powers and maneuvers.
Oh, okay.
It'll be past notes.
Nice.
Oh, now I have. Okay, now I gotta figure out a way to tie that to the attack. Oh, no, I don't. I see. Okay, cool.
And let's get this set up properly as well. That's an at-will power. It's like a cantrip.
Yes. Oh, you can move them from one tab to the other.
You can also set up their parameters by going into editing. So it's an action, it's touch, we have all that set up. It's through power casting, right?
Yeah.
That's a Sentinel exclusive thing. That they're power casting.
Yes.
Yeah, lightning charge is a power casting spell or power.
Yeah.
Very good. Yeah, so you would go into editing with spells like this, and you go over to details, and that's where you can configure where things are supposed to be.
A normal unarmed strike is a D4 plus strength.
It's a
Right.
1 plus strength.
Oh, it's just 1 plus strength.
And that's without monk bullshit or feats or anything like that. The very basis is 1 plus your strength mod. Without training, unarmed strikes are not very powerful.
Ooh, and when I take my second ideal, I can increase my unarmed strike another dice step.
That is true.
Gonna be doing D8 smacks at level 2.
Knowing that information makes me feel less bad about your first dungeon.
That's fair. That should definitely be a help.
So the party roster so far looks pretty solid. You'll be walking in with 3 frontliners, 2 supplemental all-rounders, and 1 dedicated caster, and everyone is a caster. That is pretty powerful.
It's gonna be a while before I'm a caster.
Well, yeah. But it doesn't change the fact that at a certain point, the party overall is everyone's going to be capable of casting in the core group. And starting off, you'll have 3 like frontline combat specialists. Because I know that Chris is planning to make a little psychopath. Little melee fighter psychopath. He's pretty intent on this Sith Ewok idea.
It's gonna be fun.
The Sith Ewok, I think the exact phrase was rabid chihuahua energy.
And I'm gonna throw him into combat. Literally fur bomb people.
Okay.
That should be a good time.
Oh, will you be able to add the same pop-up module to these sheets as you were able to with Fabula?
To be able to like pop them out into a different window?
Yes.
Yes, I should be able to. I don't have that module set up yet. But when the game is ready to go, it should have that functionality.
That'll be useful. Heck yeah.
It should also have it should also have touch as well. Cat. With the portrait you shared, do you want that full portrait on the
Yep.
Seraphina sheet?
Yep.
Very good. I'm assuming that this particular gaming group does not have a problem with nipples.
How many nipples?
Have you
You
shared
may-
that art with everyone yet?
Not in this channel.
It's
But
an
you did
18
make
plus
it age
channel.
restricted.
Yeah. Go ahead.
If it's a prime number, I'm fine. That's a prime number.
How's that looking for
Oh, it's fine.
fine? How could it be improved?
Hold on. I'll tell you. I gotta find it real quick.
No, I know how to fix it.
Yeah,
There you go.
I think you're already doing it. Yep.
We're not gonna do that. I'll go with the first one.
I know.
Fucking menace. Yeah, you're gonna cross some wires in poor Chris's brain. He's drunk right now. He's not gonna know how to process this information.
I would like to think Chris is ready for Thursday, and I've talked with Jekt about it a couple times too, but I don't think he is ready. Like, I've made a joke a couple times in Tuesdays about just the normal average Thursday experience, and he's just like, "Whoa!"
I think he's more ready than we're willing to give him credit for, but he is not quite as ready as he will need to be.
Yeah, probably true.
People adjust to depravity pretty quickly.
That's
Oh, no,
true.
trust
From
me.
experience.
Tuesday mornings are pretty depraved, just in other ways.
He's
I
gonna
did double
come in.
smack crit a boss on the ass.
Chris is gonna come in and like the first 2 hours is gonna be like, "Oh, okay, we're gonna be like that," and then he'll switch it up.
I am willing to bet some credits that Chris is at least going to be in the top 3 first members of this party to eat sapient flesh.
Can't happen if it's in my backstory.
Oh, that's fresh as fuck. Hell
What
yeah.
is?
I was just looking at my character sheet now.
Ah, yes, I see.
There she is.
I gotta be honest, I wasn't expecting that this is what we were going to be doing tonight. I am pleasantly surprised. I'm really happy with how excited you guys are with Star Wars.
Well, we still have half a session, so
Yeah.
if we do want to get jiggy with it, we can.
That's entirely up to you guys. Doing prep work and getting familiar with Foundry and troubleshooting stuff and answering questions you have. That's all part of it too. Like, doing this is time well spent.
All right.
I was actually very excited to hear what everyone else's ideas were for characters.
I don't know if other. Oh, I can. Okay, cool. For those of you who care, I just put my character's backstory on her profile. But if you would like a link to read it directly, I can do that as well.
You have a bio section on your sheet.
Yeah. I can't see my own sheet, like if someone else clicks on it, but I clicked on Michael's character and I see a little biography there that I can read.
Yeah, that should be the same for everybody.
You are not yet on my actors tab, so I can't look, even though I know it.
Well,
Same
let
here.
me fix that.
Go.
Oh, now I'm seeing other people.
I think Blue might be a little disappointed he missed this.
Blue is going to be a little bit disappointed he missed this.
Probably. Oh, Dathomir.
Yeah, you should all be able to see each other's sheets in a limited capacity. Thank you, Jack.
Oh, good lord. It's a book.
But,
That's true, and you know what? I completely forgot. I was going to follow after that and, so it must not have been that important. That said, Mud, how are you feeling about being the only wizard?
Lonely? That's not true. I'm all for it. I'm a caster at heart, so it don't bother me at all. Definitely the
I'm
squishiest.
honestly excited to see what Mud pulls out with some of these force powers based on the way he plays his bard. And I don't say this lightly. Give Mud a few years and he'll be playing better casters than I do. One of these days I need to play a full caster around you guys.
Mud already plays a better caster through Shino by telling me how to play her.
Wizards are tricky. Wizards are tricky for anybody.
Oops.
I want to see Mud play a 3.5 wizard just with all of the utility.
3.5. What you're really asking is trying to convince Mud to play Pathfinder.
He
Oh,
would be a
God.
menace in Pathfinder.
Yeah, bud, you would be a menace in Pathfinder.
Mud's attention to rule detail. He's going to be a menace in any system we throw him into, not going to lie.
That's true, but Pathfinder actively rewards it.
Yeah.
Not that other systems don't, but like
What?
Pathfinder in particular.
Oh.
Yeah, I was thinking about buying the handbook.
It's a good game. It's a good game with a lot of cool stuff in it. I think you'd really like it.
It's...
I can't remember. Are you much of a computer player, like computer gamer, PC gamer?
Yeah, I do. Play on the PC a bit.
You played that their Pathfinder Wrath of the Righteous?
I have not.
If you love
my-
build theory crafting, you're going to like it.
Yeah, it might be up your alley. If they still got a demo up or whatever, I'd highly recommend giving it a look. Jack, you were thinking Mitz was going to be from a
There we go.
slave background or something.
Yeah,
right?
I was going to use the original slave background, but because I'm going a little bit more combat focused, I'm going to use the bodyguard background officially, but he was kind of slaved into it.
Mm-hmm. Slave was his social class, not his profession.
Yes.
I feel you. Is that where you think he'll have met the Ewok?
Yeah, I'm just... What I originally talked to Chris to is we were both owned by the same collector. Him as more of a pet, me as more of a pet bodyguard. And then I kind of started training him how to fight, and then we went crazy, broke out. We ate our master, and then we went on the run. But we developed force powers, so our master's master came and found us and started training us in his stead.
Both fucking cannibals.
We are both beastal races.
Incredible. Have you guys put any thought about your previous master's identity?
Not as much yet. I need to have him sit down with me and have a conversation.
I would recommend a mid-ranking Imperial officer who isn't a Force user. But if you guys come up with a cooler idea, I do want to hear it when you guys get to that.
No, that could work too.
I know that Baloo is going to be playing a Nautilin. Definitely going the Guardian route. He's choosing this fighting style that takes advantage of flanking, which I find very interesting. And will be haunted by the ghost of his brother.
Oh, that
He
might
was going-
synergize well with my build. That would be fun.
The Force ghost of his brother. I believe his brother. I mean, that's subject to change, but unless Baloo has changed his mind on some things without telling me, that's going to be mechanically reflected.
Ooh.
Yeah, and he can swim like a motherfucker. Jesus Christ, Jacked. Just gonna softball that in there. But yeah, I'm pretty sure it's gonna be a different build from Hargrim, but Baloo feels pretty comfortable. Last time we were talking about building another like frontline tank. So as far as I understand, that's what he's working towards. And we'll be taking our break soon. But I would like to know, just off the top of your guys' heads, what sort of other kinds of events would you like to see occur in this story? What sort of scenarios? What kind of scenarios and challenges interest you? I already know and am preparing a ton of combat and a fair amount of like classic dungeon crawling, because this party seems to be receptive to that. But I don't think I'm going to have as much as there was in Princes of the Apocalypse.
I think it would be cool to do space combat.
We're definitely gonna have space combat. I'm not building your ship's stats and not have space combat.
I mean, you never know.
Yeah.
Video
You know what
games
I'm saying?
advertise space combat, but really it's just cutscenes, so it could just be a cutscene.
That's true. That's true. But no, yeah, we'll have ship combat. We'll definitely be dealing with that. The first little bit is going to have a big emphasis on survival and grunt work. I'm already structuring this campaign as being like this is your character's career with the Sith as a Sith, right? From early apprenticeship to mastery. So the early game the early game is going to be hopefully fun from our perspective, but suck from a character perspective. In that they'll be continually tested and they'll be given jobs and assignments that are going to be difficult without a lot of thanks, as early adventuring like it tends to go, but within a Sith context. So take that as you will. Is there anything else in particular that anyone would like to see in this game?
I really enjoyed a lot of the intrigue and in the questing early in Princes of Apocalypse. I'd like to see more of that, and I'm excited you said something about survival, since that plays into my build and background pretty well.
So maybe I do have like the skeleton of a lot of the story already mapped out, but like an emphasis on a conspiracy or a mystery. Is that something we'd like to mess with then?
Yeah, I'd be
Yeah.
down.
Just don't make me feel like I wasted all my attributes being all charisma and never use it.
I was just about to follow that up with I really enjoyed the ballroom scene and wouldn't mind a few more social social RP encounters like that. So that would fit in well for you and
I mean, it's great for my character, not great for me though.
That's what dice rolls are for.
practice if you want it.
That's also true.
I have an insanely high charisma. It's not insanely high, but I guess to me it is. At level 1. And most of my build is going to revolve around that high charisma. Even in a fight.
I mean, charisma is going to be important for all of you.
Well, yeah, that's other than spellcasting.
Oh no, as soon as possible, I'm going to take the feat that lets me use wisdom, even with dark side powers, with no downside.
Interesting. Could Mittens be a secret do-gooder / cannibal? I suppose we'll see. Yeah, for Cat and Mud, is there anything in particular that you'd be hoping to see, or stuff that you're hoping to see less of compared to Princes of the Apocalypse so far?
That's one more. I don't know. I'll be trying. I'm just here to have fun.
Fun, an emphasis on fun. That's a
Yeah.
valid answer.
Yeah.
I think we've talked about it briefly, but I'm still down to do hirelings or characters on days when we wouldn't play otherwise. Or just some alternative to not playing, I guess I would say.
What if our alternative is we're all droids? We're all some sort of assistant droids and we're getting up into our own shenanigans. That'd be fun.
See, that's a good idea. But my thought was, what if we have like a bad batch set of characters and that are opposed to our main characters?
Oh, our hirelings are the good guy. Oh, what if our hirelings are trying to counteract all the bad shit our main crew did?
That'd be fun.
We're just the cleaners, or we're cleaners, yeah.
And maybe near end game, one of the sessions could be like split, where some of us are playing the good guys fighting our bad guys, and vice versa.
I will give that some considerable thought. I am structuring the game, and you know what's one of the benefits of having a primarily evil party?
Is this a lot easier to make combat?
No moral high ground?
I have the high ground, Anakin.
All the rapes?
Primarily, evil characters are usually also incredibly selfish. It doesn't take a lot, especially from what I heard from many of your characters so far. It wouldn't take a lot that if we're in the middle of a combat, or in the middle of a dungeon, that any of your characters could, for whatever reason, decide, you know what, I am not going to help right now. And we just continue without them until they decide to swing back and help. So we might not necessarily need a hireling setup, if we want to do it that way. But I have been tinkering with the idea of a simple gladiatorial ring setup, where you guys build gladiators, and for hirelings we just do combat encounters.
That'd be fun.
That would also
Yes.
be a simple setup for playing around with other builds if we wanted to switch out.
Yeah, I think I said it before. As long as we get to play, like, I'm not too worried even about what the setup is. If it's just random encounters in an arena, or I mean, just as long as we have the potential to play. That's as simple as I'm keeping it. I don't
We
want
can
to not
definitely do
play
that.
because someone doesn't show up. That's all.
Yeah, we
I'm-
can definitely do that.
I'm here to have fun. The only request for the game I have, Teddy, is just please don't make me regret going full charisma and skills and stats.
I'm not. If there's a point where you feel like you're regretting it, talk to me,
I shouldn't
and
because
we'll see what we should do.
I shouldn't because there's a monk tradition where I can do melee shenanigans using my charisma instead of strength or dexterity. So if all else fails from like a stat skill point, if I don't ever use it, that's fine. But at least my melee will still be acceptable because I'm not using strength or dex.
I don't know
I
if
will.
you saw that, but all Sith casting is charisma based.
That too. So when I do eventually get Sith powers, I will have a high charisma. Like in theory, it should be fine. If I'm doing melee,
Yeah.
I'm using charisma. That's fine. If I'm doing skill stuff, it's all weighted in charisma. Like I literally have proficiency in all the charismas and expertise in one, and athletics. That's it. Everything else is I haven't touched it.
I'm just imagining like a possible future scenario where Asajora is getting like frustrated and just decides, you know what, this person I'm talking to could be seduced and murdered. Do your foul work, whore. I release thee.
Yeah, that's me. I mean, I'm a little. I did a little preemptuous, but I did change my name on Discord for. Oh, nice. I did change my name on Discord for Star Wars.
Did you?
Yeah.
Cat de Queen.
Yeah, the Queen is Alicia for Tuesdays. Ooh, that's a nice golden die.
Oh, I see. There is a possibility I might have a player in a game who is under 18.
I will change
If
it.
there's, I appreciate it.
There it is. I don't know
As-
what I'll change it to.
As great as it is, right. Well, I appreciate the insight and the feedback. That gives me a lot of very helpful direction on what to prioritize as I'm setting this up. We are well over time for a typical break. So since we're all in Foundry, I'm going to take the opportunity to show you about break time.
And,
Wow.
And get a load of that. If you right click your head icon on this menu, it'll have a red bar. That means you're away. If you left click it, it turns to green just like that, denoting that you are here. So that might help some of us save some time and make it clear, even if your mic is muted or whatever, that you are present and ready to go. And the actual timer.
Sweet.
Isn't that neat? All right, I'll be right back in 10-15 minutes. In the interim, I would appreciate you guys thinking about what sort of, because I don't want to completely surprise you, but what sort of helpful or subservient NPCs, like archetypes or roles that you would like to see that you find interesting, that we might want to add to your supporting cast and roster. Until then, though, enjoy your break. I'll be back in 10 to 15 minutes. I'm here.
I had an idea, but I have to ask somebody permission first.
Hmm.
I like the idea of our favorite resident Catboy being like a scout spy for my character.
A cameo from Sabs.
Yes.
I mean, yeah, you won't be able to get permission from me. That's all witchy.
No, that's what I said. I don't want to ping them this late, but I'm gonna ask. And I feel like the way me and Chris's backgrounds as slave pets would fit in perfectly for the kind of angst they like for Sabs.
It's true.
I'm also trying to think of a way to conceptualize Mitten's IRL brother as a background character that you can use for that purposes at some point too.
Sorry, could you repeat that?
I'm also trying to think of a way to conceptualize Mitten's IRL brother as a character from his
Give
background.
give me some deets when you can, and I'm sure we can cook something up.
Heck yeah, that'd be cool.
Also, welcome back, Kat. Welcome back, Michael.
Is my name acceptable now?
It's technically biblical.
Do I need to change it again?
Tell you what, if it becomes a problem, I'll let you know.
Okay.
And then we'll cross that bridge when we get to it.
I was gonna suggest the escort, but that works too.
Like the first time, all right, I get you. I understand.
Yeah, whore is a
That-
little strong. Harlot has some class to it.
Yeah, that one was a little raunchy, I'll admit, but that was kind of the point.
Mm-hmm. No, I feel you. And if this was strictly an 18 plus server, then I wouldn't have an issue.
No, I don't know. That's why I changed it.
Appreciate it. Appreciate it, friend.
I got you.
So we got a lot of us here. Yeah, with the time that we got left, I figure today is going to be a Star Wars setup day. Which means I'm going to have to wrangle Baloo at some point and get him caught up. But yeah, you guys tell me. What kind of NPCs supporting cast? I get water. Jeez. What kind of NPC supporting cast would you guys be like interested in seeing? To round out your group. I do have some ideas on the back burner cooking, but I don't know. One of the things that I'm getting a lot of enjoyment out of from running Fabula Ultima is how much cooperation in the world building I get to have with the players. So I kind of want to bring some of that energy here. Yeah, what kind of NPCs would you guys be interested in seeing and maybe hanging out with from time to time or throughout your adventure? What sort of companion characters do you think would interest you?
Okay. So I was hoping this would kind of happen naturally, but since you're asking,
Yeah.
I'm gonna say I think it would be really funny if there was a rogue like Jedi or person that the party encountered semi-frequently. And every time we would duel with him or battle with him and we would like air quotes kill him, he doesn't actually die. He just comes back and like maybe now he has a robotic hand, or now we can when we kill him again, it's a robotic arm or something, and he just comes back and just scales with us as just like a joke, like, oh shit, it's this guy again.
A recurring Jedi villain. Yeah, I can do that. I already had something like that in mind. So
Okay.
yeah, don't worry. We're on similar pages there.
Okay.
But now that I know that's something that at least one of you definitely wants, I can definitely put an emphasis on that guy. Pilot archetype.
I was gonna say I want my Fabula point every time they show up.
You can have a Fabula point every time they show up. I will happily give you give Mittens a Fabula point. But yeah, with your current build, unless somebody decides to like anybody who has who isn't proficient in piloting or confident in piloting, you will definitely have an opportunity to come across or recruit an NPC who can. It feels kind of necessary. That and an engineer. Maybe not like a PC level engineer, but somebody who can fix the ship. Welcome back, Mud.
Thank you.
I asked the group what sort of supporting cast, NPCs, or what are we streaming?
Jack, do you have you wanted to see my sheet?
Oh yeah. That's an easy way to do it.
What kind of supporting cast or interesting NPCs or sort of companion characters that you would like to see or be featured? Because yeah, like I said before, I have some on the back burner. I am cooking some up. But I've gotten to be a really big fan of giving players the opportunity to have more of a direct hand in the world building and stuff.
I think it'd be
Kat
fun.
has suggested.
I was gonna think I think it'd be fun to encounter maybe another group of like acolytes or something that either our Sith Lord or a rival Sith Lord is trying to one up us with, but either they get the gun or they get it or we get it, depending. But it'd be fun to encounter maybe like a rival team. Right.
A rival coterie of Sith. Yeah, we can do that. Admittedly, that is not something that I was really at the forefront of my mind, but that sounds like fun. I could definitely do that.
Or like someone or a team that's like after the same things as we are, that isn't the Jedi or the good guys, quote unquote good guys.
Yeah, like more rivals than really
Yeah.
enemies. No, yeah, that'd be good.
Like a Star Wars Team Rocket.
Yeah.
Well, no, Cat suggested the Star Wars Team Rocket of like a persistent Jedi or pair of Jedi who you guys keep on fighting in a sincere way, but they inexplicably don't die and just like return later with like maybe like a robot hand or something. I think this analogy is more along the lines of like
Motivation to be better.
Excuse me.
yeah, like I guess if we're using the Pokemon analogy, like a Gary.
I need this tab.
Although I didn't really watch a lot of that show, but Team Rocket isn't always like directly antagonistic, are they?
No, not always.
Oops.
I should give that a revisit. So yeah, so a rival team. Hold on, I'm writing these down for the record. A rival team and a recurring threat. Eject with like a pilot, like a dedicated pilot NPC, which I'm down with. I'm assuming you don't mean just like in skill either. Like you kind of want an Atten Han Solo-y kind of scoundrel guy or person. Am I reading that right?
Yeah, especially like the Pizak thing, since you're introducing that into the world too.
Okay. Yeah, we can definitely have somebody like that. Does anybody else have any ideas on that front? Stuff they'd like to see? Or people they'd like to meet?
I'd like to meet a Sith Gungan. That'd be fun.
I am the world's #1 defender of Sith Jar Jar theory. I will not lie.
Yeah, we can have a Sith Gungan. I'll work on my accent. How about you, Mud? As far as characters or archetypes you'd like to interact with. Is there any kind of personality or person that you'd want to see complement the crew or get in your coteries way? Or that you'd like to run into every so often?
You seem like a guy that's probably read the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy.
I have.
Maybe just like a Ford Prefect type. Some random fucking dude out there just trying to
Some
get
poor
by.
fucking guy?
Just trying to fucking get through the galaxy that somehow we keep fucking stumbling across for a fully improbable but probable way.
Yeah. You know what? Yeah. I'm gonna fucking add his sheet right now so I definitely don't forget.
Or Dent. You can do Arthur Dent too, but he's a little less universally. You've read him, you know. You get it.
I do. Why not both?
Certainly doable.
Just a couple of poor saps
Oh,
just wandering around trying to make it in the galaxy. They keep on coming across your path of destruction and mischief. Yeah, we could do that. Well, thank you for that, gentlemen. I'll be sure to pick Baloo's brain when I get a chance, and see what else we can get out of that. Have we given a lot of thought about which of the 3 Sith Masters you can choose to apprentice under? Considering that like the 3 of them are working together actively. I know with some of you you're pretty locked in. Like I know that Serafina definitely wants to apprentice under the Primal Sith Master.
Yep.
But I was wondering if there was any other interest in the what did I call them? Well, the Commander and the Alchemist. Are there different archetypes? And sort of what they represent as Sith.
I think I was gonna go with the primal as well. I like the what is it? Revolutionary. But I feel like the primal kind of more Asajara is a moment.
I think we talked about this before, and we were all pretty strongly the Primalist.
We did. But it's been some time since we talked about it, so I just wanted to touch base and see whether or not that was still the case. Since y'all had time to sort of like stew on it. Sometimes things change.
I think we should really make sure Blue's disappointed by not being here by voting on something. I don't know what, but we should vote on something.
Background wise, I'm definitely more favorable to Primal as well.
How about that? 4-0. Sorry, Blue.
Well, I mean, y'all don't need the same Sith Master. But that's interesting. It's interesting how kind of unanimously you're all interested in apprenticing under the Primalist. And also, just as a side note, like my personal bet before I brought them up is like based on what kind of character concept you were telling me about before, Michael. I thought Asadora was going to be like interested in apprenticing under the alchemist, but that's egg on my face, I guess.
Let's see.
That said,
Oh, I guess I could see that. Yeah. That is a good close. I think if she was in a different given her backstory, I think she definitely would have chosen the alchemist. But I think given the fact of her background of kind of dominance, power over everything, I think she's going with the primal.
What all languages do our people know? Or might want to know?
The drop down on that language thing was insane. So I picked Sith because that's the one I knew.
I did the same exact thing.
That's smart, but I did what was in character. Someone's got to know Hut.
I know common.
Everyone knows common. Someone has to know Hut, or else we're gonna be in for.
a tease.
Oh, Foundry, why do you flashbang me?
Leave it to the Ewok to understand but not speak Huttese. That'd be pretty great, honestly.
I'm pretty sure there's a force spell that does that. But yeah, I don't know if you saw that drop down list of languages. We're not going to cover them all.
No, but I was
No.
just curious what people wanted or were thinking.
You know what? I encountered a pretty great house rule. That's for Pathfinder, but it could be applied to any system that uses languages. Where this GM was using empty slots as a opportunity, and as long as you had an empty slot for a language, at any point you encounter a language that the party doesn't know, but they have a free slot, somebody can volunteer. I know that language, and here is a reason why I know that language. And as long as they like provide like a little backstory as to where they could have picked it up, they can just fill that slot then and then lock in that language. And I thought that was a pretty good way to do it.
Isn't that a function of droids as well?
Yep, and you will be given a. You will be given a. You will be given a protocol droid. So you could drag your protocol droid to be a translator for you. Once you get them, you won't have them at first, but like once you get them, you can use your protocol droid for that purpose.
I can't figure out what the little floaty dots are. Is that your guys' cursors?
Yes.
No, that's when you target someone. Oh yes, but yes, you mean like this swirly stuff? Yeah, it's our cursor when we're on Foundry. I thought you were talking about these floaty dots.
Does that mean you can see mine?
Yeah.
Uh huh.
I've just added a party sheet, by the way. You should be able to see and access it now. It's fairly bare bones, but it should help you guys keep track of each other's stuff as well at a glance.
Oh God. Where is this for Kingmaker?
You have one for Kingmaker.
It doesn't look like this though.
Yeah, it's more detailed.
Oh, this is so much nicer than Kingmakers.
It's the Kingmaker lets you see everybody's skills and languages at a glance.
I don't need to know all that shit. I just want the HP bars. That's it.
Well, good to know, I guess. Did we all vote on the ship? I think we locked in the ship choice a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, I think it was a really big one, the Fortress one.
Well, I don't know if we locked in, but some of us chimed in and some of us were mutually consentive on the third. I know nobody liked the second one,
Let's see.
which I think is gonna be a choice.
I think even though if not everybody voted, I do think the majority of votes did go in favor of the third ship. I'll go ahead and just.
We have Jack did 4312, Michael did 3142, I did 3412.
Yeah, I really liked 3.
Got some Warhammer 30k stuff, 30k, 40k stuff going on.
Our version's 30k.
30k. War Ballot 30k.
It's the We Have Warhammer at Home.
How are they numbered?
Yeah. Oh, left, right, like top left, right, bottom left, right. 1, 2, 3, 4.
We don't think 3 looks a little dildo-y.
I mean, all
With the-
spaceships look dildo.
With the prongs at the front?
I've had some girlfriends with some elaborate toys, man. They get non-Euclidean. I could see it, but
Good use
But-
of Euclidean.
Yeah, all I heard was non-Clidian.
Proclitian. All spaceships look like dildos. All spaceships look like dicks. Or food. You know, that's how they designed the ships for like the first Star Wars. This is the early Industrial Light and Magic were wondering how to design the spaceships, and they were out for lunch and decided that they're going to make a spaceship shaped off of a pizza and a spaceship shaped off of a burger, and that's how they got the Star Destroyer and the Millennium Falcon. That's some useless Star Wars trivia for you right there.
I just heard you say all dicks are food.
I mean, in some circles. I'm sure. It's like that George Carlin quote. At some point, cocksucker became an insult, when really that's somebody like doing you a service. Like, that's a friend. What was his exact quote? Nowadays, it means bad man. As far as I know, in my experience, it's always been a good woman. George Carlin, I missed that guy.
He was brilliant.
I sure was. Yeah, all spaceships look like dicks. In some form or another.
At least we're not
Can't let
going
that
with
stop you.
number 2, which is literally a cock and balls.
Listen, I know out of the people who shared, nobody liked 2, but I have a very strong gut feeling that 2 is actually probably the best.
It looks like a giant taser with a cock and balls on it.
I can tell you right now they're going to have their different specialties, but they are all designed with the same challenge rating. So while they'll be able to do different things, better or worse than others, they are all equally good mathematically, I promise.
So, when I did my breakdown, was I close on any of them?
With number 1, you are a bit off for number 1.
Am I?
It's not exactly a good or reliable all-rounder.
Oh.
I
mean, what you're saying is not going to change my choice. As soon as I saw those pictures, I was all in on 3. I don't care.
I mean, we already locked some of them out, so I actually realized that there's no issue revealing what some of these were supposed to be, because you're not going to get them at this point because we're already locked in. The first one is a pleasure yacht.
Oh, damn it!
Like, it's a luxury private yacht vessel.
God damn it!
But that's fine. Number 2 is a first responder combat corvette. It lacks luxury, but has a whole lot of utility. It is not the fastest, but it does come with some impressive weapons and a fully set up medical bay.
Take half points on that one.
Number 4 is the fastest. It's actually a medium-sized vessel. It's about the same size as of the Millennium Falcon. But you are right in that it was designed to be like a stealth ship in a lot of ways.
Yeah, that one to me just looked like it's simplistic for a reason. Or it's very like the American Air Force is like the jet fighters are angular for radar detection. Or anti-radar, I guess.
It is actually, in some ways, old reliable. It does a lot of things generally very well, but what it does have is a unique engine that allows it to do two things. One, it goes into hyperdrive very, very fast. It's not the fastest in open combat, though. Two, you might see like the green line off the nose. That's because the entire front half of that ship is a cannon. It does take time to charge up, but it fires a one huge fucking concentrated blast. It does have a major cooldown, though. I am pretty excited about your third ship, though. We're already talking about it. I don't mind. I can give you a little bit of a teaser. It doubles as a temple. It doubles as a Sith temple. So, what advantages and disadvantages you might get from that, I'll let you extrapolate and theorize. But that's what it is. It is a mobile Sith temple.
I mean, it has that vibe of Sith. Not necessarily. I wouldn't have thought temple, but it has the Sith vibe.
It's the only ship in that selection that has a dedicated meditation room.
Asajor is going to be in that room often.
Hell yeah. It's also the biggest and therefore has the most coverage for artillery. As far as like general weapons, it has the most firepower. Just by the conceit that it's also the biggest. In the strictest definition, Ship's 4's cannon does more damage by a large margin, but just the sheer amount of the artillery that is attached to Ship 3 gives it more general DPS. It is a fucking boat, though.
So the only one I was right with mostly was 3.
It was interesting to read, though. Because I can definitely see where you're coming from. On that note, though, do we have any other questions or comments or thoughts about Star Wars or anything else that we would like to cover? It doesn't sound like it.
I'm good.
Good. And from the sounds of things, then, we do not have enough time at this point to really get a lot out of Hirelings, but I do think we got a lot done in regards to Star Wars. I guess I do have a couple of other questions. From what you guys have heard of each other's characters so far, and knowing in character you haven't met each other, as players, what sort of predictions or instincts do you guys have with how you think your characters will interact with each other?
I think it's gonna be a love-hate relationship, at least with Asajora. She's gonna be like, who the fuck are these people? And basically kind of means to an end. And then I have a feeling she'll probably be like, oh, I can't live without you. Well, maybe I can, but we'll see.
I said they're all about possession, so
Yeah.
Yeah, I fully agree. Any cooperation is going to be skeptical and
Yeah.
what the character's getting out of it. What's in it for me?
that makes sense. I think I heard Kat talking. Kat, what
Nah.
were you saying?
I agree with Mud. It's gonna. You can like find 5 people in a tavern and team up, and then they'll go kill God, and everything's fine. But I think all of us are gonna have big egos, and there's gonna be a lot of clashing. So I'm very interested to see how things are gonna get done, if any.
Targaryens are supposed to be lion based, so they're very much pride characters. So I'm definitely probably going to be one of the more open to everyone, except they're also very sexist. So that has some conflict with Serafina, and still not sure how to pronounce yours. There's Theo
Asajora.
Sajora.
Asa for short.
Got you.
I'll be very pleased if like one of the first lines of dialogue out of you, Jax, is just fucking. Well, I for one am happy to see everyone work together, especially with these bitches. I do happen to know. Last time I talked to Baloo, he was describing his character as something of like a knight errant type, like sort of struggling with his darkness, but like for a dark side user, still kind of noble in some important ways, like a strong silent type of a person that has a little bit of spookiness going on. And according to Chris's character is just going to be like fucking feral. Like, some might mistake him for an actual animal.
I can't wait for Chris to fully unleash his chaos that he has all pent up.
It'll be something. For a point of reference for everybody else, Chris is in a Tuesday game with Kat, and before we started playing Kingmaker, we did oh fuck, I'm blanking on the name of the module. Descended to Avernus.
Yep, there you go.
And Kat joined very late, so didn't get a lot of the context firsthand. But if anybody's not aware of Descended to Avernus, the title kind of explains the main gimmick. You go to the first level of the Hells and have Mad Maxian devil adventures. And everybody in the party, to different degrees, was like, wow, this sucks. We don't want to be here for very long. Let's get this job done as soon as possible. And Chris's character was the only one who's like, hey, this devil is willing to give me 1,000 gold and a coin that's filled with a human soul to skin this guy alive. And I think I should that seems like a good deal. So if he does bring that energy to this.
I think he gets to vent a little bit of his chaos in his Tuesday morning with you guys, but then he has to rein it back in for Kingmaker. And I can just feel that he can't spread out his wings and just grow because he's got
His
to rein
gremlin
it in
wings.
for Which is why I love Thursdays. Y'all are great. I can just be a fucking complete degenerate.
Speaking of degeneracy, you should all also have access to secondary sheets. They are labeled with your usernames or names. And glad. So there's a glad cat, glad dry bones, etc. Those are your gladiators. Feel free to do whatever you wish within the rules of previously established. During my break, I was thinking about how to do that with the hirelings, and I think it will be very simple. Your characters are just simply gladiatorial slaves, and you get through enough matches and you win your freedom. That's it. It might have a crossover with the main campaign, but easy peasy. Don't have to worry about it too much. I can throw weird combat encounters at you with little repercussions. So feel free to mess with those sheets however you'd like. Let me know if you don't see them. They should be in a separate folder. And your player characters should be in the Sith Coterie folder. Which, by the way, if any of you are into graphic design or logo design or anything like that, if you come up with an insignia for your coterie or an alternate name for your coterie, a party name or squad name, whatever you want to call it, let me know so I can make the appropriate adjustments. And if you find a symbol that you feel like represents you, I can set that up for your party sheet. But no need to give that too much serious thought if you don't want to. And as previously stated, you will eventually get a lot of your starting equipment. Narratively, however, what I have planned for the start of this campaign as a player, be aware that you will start with nothing. Like, nothing but the clothes on your back.
I don't even want those.
You do with your inventory what you want to do.
As long as I got my dangle, I got a weapon.
The Twi'lek back home like to call it my great club. But yeah, for what I have set up, you guys are going to start with you guys are going to start in a dungeon right away, and it's going to have a heavy emphasis on not just combat and some puzzle solving. It's also going to hopefully have a satisfying survival element, where using the tools you find or create will be a big part of it, and you'll have to use your inventory wisely to get through to the end. So yeah, I suggest you bear that in mind. Of course, with your gladiators, you get all of your normal stuff. Do we? I guess I already asked if we had any questions. If there aren't any other thoughts or things that anybody wants to chat about, which I'm completely open to, I feel like we've covered a lot, and we should probably start wrapping up. I know we still have like 20 minutes worth of typical game time, but this is feeling like a good spot to start winding down.
That fully works for me. I'm a bit sleepy and I got a potty, so I think I might just call it a night right here.
That's absolutely fair. I hope you don't fall in, sir.
Ooh, did you DVR that tonight?
Sorry?
Did you DVR the sporting event?
I did not DVR the sporting event.
Did you see the result?
I did see the result.
It doesn't sound good.
The result is actually fucking great.
Oh,
Yeah, especially after how that started. I don't think you can ask for more than that.
That first period fucking sucked. I'm gonna need to see the highlights of overtime in order to see what happened. But yeah, Panthers scored 3 goals in the first period. Oilers came back in the second for another 3 goals, tying up the game. We got into overtime because in the third period they both managed to get a goal, and then in overtime Oilers took it 5-4.
Hey, attaboy.
They have played 4 games and 4 overtime periods. It's a pretty good series.
It's a good series. I am enjoying it a lot. Florida's playing a hell of a game for a team that doesn't have any fucking snow.
Yeah, fuck those
Good
guys.
on them. Fuck those guys and that rat-faced fuck. Well, I gotta admit, he was playing a great game the other night.
All right, I'm off. Good game tonight, folks. We will see you next week.
No, we won't.
Nope. Yeah, that's important to mention. I am going to be on break for the next 2 weeks. So our next game scheduled is going to be July 3rd.
I really feel like I could have delayed rolling a character for a while.
Hey, we still got to finish Princes. And then we're going to take a 6-week break after Princes. So you got time.
Well, it's probably not going to be the full 6 weeks. But yeah, I'll be custom making maps and stuff during that time period. So this campaign is going to be wholly yours, you guys. It's going to belong completely to you. A completely unique, tailored experience for my favorite backdoor gang. But yeah, for those of you who are going to bed, I'm still pretty wired and open to answering questions and stuff, and am now going to be working on Star Wars things now that we've been talking about it. But for those of you who are bowing out, like Mud, thank you for showing up tonight. Thank you for all the hard work you put in and collaboration today. I hope you have a good couple of weeks, and when we come back, hopefully we'll have a full house so we can punch Vanifer in the face. And so everybody's AC units in Sharn can start working again.
I'm gonna punch her in the lips, all right.
Yeah, punch her in the lips with. Now that I'm suspicious, with what?
I got a tentacle rod.
Fucking Christ.
And that's what we call Thursdays. Good night, everybody.
Bye, Mud.
Good night, Mud. Oh, fucking hell.
I'm so excited for Star Wars. I can't even lie.
Yeah? That makes me so happy to hear. There's no better fuel for motivation than player enthusiasm.
Well, I believe my sheet is set up properly. Minus maybe some tiny details, but I don't think I'm actually missing any.
I'll give it a review. I'll give it a review again. Where did you get that icon for unarmed strike?
Me?
Yeah.
I just dragged and dropped from the vibro weapons.
Oh, it's in vibro weapons. Thank you.
It's
Yep.
such a weird place.
That is
How
a
did
weird
it
place.
work?
I built mittens from scratch. Like I went in
Yeah.
there and
Martial art and unarmed strike are in vibro weapons.
well, I feel like they could have put that somewhere better.
Yeah, probably. But like,
I'm
I'm a
totally bamboozled by that.
I was a martial class, so I'm like, why am I looking in light weapons? Just go straight to vibro. Although, now that you've mentioned it, I can roll an unarmed strike, but I can't do damage.
Oh, nice.
It's like I don't have an option to click damage now.
Oh,
Not
yeah,
that it's
I
gonna-
see that.
Not that it's gonna do anything right now.
What?
Although, Jack, for your character, you have claws, so unarmed strike might be different. See, how'd you get damage roll?
Because
It-
it gave me option for attack and damage when I fixed it, but I gotta go in and fix my damage for it.
So if you click the icon,
Uh-huh.
or no, if you click the name, it'll bring up a pop-up menu that says usability.
Yeah, I did that.
So it pops it in chat.
Yeah, and then I get a little pop-up that says attack roll, unarmed strike, D20. Do I want to do one-handed? And then I can do a public roll, private roll, then I can do advantage, normal,
Huh.
or disadvantage.
Yeah, forget that. Do it from chat.
Okay, that does the same pop-up. Which is fine.
Which is fine. Try it after targeting. Target Michael real quick.
Like it's rolling
try
my to hit modifier.
I'm confused because the first time I did it, it did it correctly and gave me both options, but now it's not when I fixed my damage. This is weird.
Oh, good crit. See, like, I'm. Do I need to equip my fists? Is that the problem?
Can you equip your fists?
Well, see, like
I
if
don't
you
really see
scroll
a
up,
toggle for that.
it says shield icon is equipped versus not equipped. But like I'm successfully rolling my to hit, but I cannot for the life of me find a damage. Which at this point in the character, because she doesn't even exist and we're not doing anything right now, that's not, admittedly, it's not much. But I am going to be doing it quite often. See, like,
All
not
right,
even
hey,
that.
I think I know why.
Huh?
Right click and go into your edit screen to edit the actual attack. If you scroll all the way down, you go to details and scroll all the way down, you have your damage and your formulas for damage.
Uh-huh.
Mine is currently just set to 1. No die,
Yeah,
no
that's
nothing.
yeah, that's
That should be
accurate.
the case.
Do I need to click the formula button?
But I
Nope.
think it needs to be you need to roll a dice, like a d4, 1d4, or set it to something.
Do I just put the bonus as 1? Because you do innately 1 damage? Oh, there we go. I gave it
So
a
you-
1 damage bonus, and now there's the damage button. I click damage, click normal. I did 1 damage, but I saw that a long time ago, but I'm like, I'm not gonna mention it. But now that we have,
Did you somehow give yourself a cummy status effect?
me,
Yeah.
I did not, but I did see that I got bloodied.
It's
Temporary effect is bloodied. I did not toggle that on, but I saw that it got put on to me somehow. I don't know how that got there.
it's because I managed to do damage to you. Of course, the bloodied icon for this game looks like Spooge, and the first person to get hit by it was Sarah. Well, I did manage to do damage to you. It might be something that only I can see for some reason, but targeting does seem to be integral to rolling damage, which makes sense if you're not hitting anything.
But I am targeting.
So you attacked.
I don't know how I did that though.
Like, the only way I got damage to show up was I put a bonus of 1 after editing the unarmed strike.
So you should have a there's an option that says place measured template.
Yeah, and every time that happens, it says or what does it say? Because it tells me something about that. This it says failed to place measured template.
Oh, that can't be the thing then. Well, for testing purposes, let's get mittens on there.
Yeah, see, like, I believe I am targeting. It's gonna be a while. It's gonna be a while before I get your name, but I believe I'm targeting Michael, and it didn't do anything.
Asa. You can just call her Asa. Okay, I know why. So, at least on my screen, it shows up when I attack. I get that first initial box over the attack damage, and then because I roll a d20, it just rolls the 20. And I still have to roll the attack damage, but we all know that unarmored is a plus is just 1, but because it's going to roll an automatic 1 no matter what. So, okay, that makes sense.
Uh-huh.
And I'm not sure if, Michael, you see the apply button, but I see an apply button.
Apply?
Yeah, so you attacked Seraphina, and let's assume you hit.
Mm-hmm.
I hit this, and I gave you 1 damage, which I wasn't supposed to do.
Oh.
I don't have that button.
So yeah, it might be you guys roll your damage, but I have to make it go through
But it's not even giving me an option to roll damage.
to roll damage. Oh, I think I found it. I think I found what you need to do. Seraphina, an unarmed strike. You know where your trash can is? On your right-hand side.
My trash can?
Do we need to
where you would
equip
delete
it?
like
I already have it equipped.
so you're looking at your inventory, right?
Yes. Yes.
And then you go to the right.
Okay.
There's like price, weight, quantity, charges. A button for edit, a button for delete, and then a button that looks like a square.
Price.
Click that.
Price, weight, quantity, charges. I don't see any of that. Is this some DM shenanigans that you can see that I don't?
I sure hope not.
If I edit my
yes, I see.
sheet,
If you're in edit, okay. So go back to play. Pardon me. Now I know what you're looking at.
Okay.
But you do see price, weight, quantity, charges.
I see weight, quantity, charges. I don't see price.
Okay. And then you have the equipped shield.
Uh-huh.
Do you see a like segmented square right beside that to the right?
Yes.
Click that.
It just popped it out.
You don't see an attack action?
Yeah, I clicked it and it's still doing the same thing where I'm rolling to my hit but not doing any damage. So like if let me just throw something random onto my sheet. So like when I click this, I wish this pop-up would stay in a different spot every time. See, like that whip has the damage token right there.
Yes, I do see the issue now.
So now I can click damage, and then it's going to say, I wish I could say where this pop-up pops up instead of popping up down there all the time, because that's going to piss me off. Because now I did damage with the whip.
You did do damage with the whip.
I think Michael might be on something to where like it needs to have a dice category in order to do damage. Or you just add the number of damage as the bonus in the modifier field. Because when I go to edit unarmed strike, and if you just put like a 1 in the bonus, now whenever I roll unarmed strike, there's a damage option.
That is very silly, but at least it's working.
But I'm always going to do 1 damage because I made it to where it's 1 damage.
Alternatively, if you don't put anything in the bonus field and you can click the formula, you can set it up with the direct formula and it should automatically add your stat bonus to it. So you'd click formula and just put 1.
Okay, so then that raises the question, do strength or dexterity get added on unarmed strikes? Or is it just always 1?
Unless you're doing it as 2-weapon fighting, it should still get strength. Or dex if you have the finesse from monk.
Yeah, but it's not adding it.
Then you could add it as 1 plus 3 to the formula, or just set it to 4 since it'd always be the same.
I think that would be the way to do it. Damage, number 0, bonus. Your strength is 12, so...
Plus 1,
Yeah,
and then if I'm raging,
that'd be,
it's an
that'd be
additional
2.
plus 2. So
Well, so it's
damage,
always a base 1 anyway, so that would be
Yeah.
a total of plus 2.
total of plus 2 for me, but if I'm raging, it's an additional 2.
Yeah, but when you toggle rage, that should automatically.
I don't have a toggle for rage. I mean, rage is here. Do I need to expand this? Oh, I need to expand it. But it didn't go down in usage.
David warned me about 5th edition. I'll figure it out. Rage, bonus action. No, didn't mean to do that.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Is it because we're not on a air quotes map, so we don't have like actual character tokens? But I mean, they're right here.
Roll initiative.
Okay.
Also, I gotta fix Mitten's sheet.
I didn't mean to make this a whole big deal. I was just
No,
like,
it's important.
I was just like, it's not working.
Better to figure these things out before we're actually needing them. How the heck does my damage do a -1?
Mittens, roll initiative. Well, I'll roll it for you. Unless you got it. All right, Acid, Jorah, and Mittens, you have 2 great turns. Seraphina, try to use rage.
Try to use rage. I gotta find it again. All it did was put it in chat. The uses did not go down automatically. And if I do an unarmed strike... Oh! There's a damage on this unarmed strike. It's a 2. Is that because you edited it to be 2?
I did edit it to be 2.
Okay. But that's not...
Why aren't you working?
That doesn't have rage damage in it.
No, because rage hasn't activated. For whatever reason.
There's no drag and drop. Ooh, Foundry, you're so good, but you're not as good as in 5th edition.
Yeah, what's the story here?
Activation. Consumption. Activity uses. I currently have 2. Okay, so let's try this now. Then 2 uses of activity. No, that I misunderstood. I misunderstood. How did I get there?
Ooh.
There you go.
It requires 2 uses. Why?
No, that was me.
What do you mean it was you?
I edited the use tag to add a consumption of 2, thinking my limit was 2, but it only costed 1 to use. I have since removed
Yes.
it.
Okay.
Okay.
So all right. So
Oh, hold on.
make sure your token is selected, and then you use. Use.
Use. Okay, now the consumption's gone.
Huh.
Is that because I edited it?
The class feature is a Berserker Instinct, yes?
Yes. So what if I do it now? That did nothing. Oh, wait.
Character or class required to select this feature when leveling up. Limited uses.
No, that didn't work.
All right, try it.
Do I click rage or use?
Use.
No. Spend 1, max of 2. Okay. Recovery. Long rest. Okay, so I'm gonna long rest. And now I'm gonna click this. And it didn't work. Click rage. And it didn't work.
And it might also be because I'm actively editing it right now.
Oh. Even if it does work. Oh, hold on. I think I figured it out.
I definitely did something. Do you see up there?
Up where?
If you like roll up, because it looks like you did it twice.
Oh, from the long rest?
From the long what? No. I hit use, and now if you have Seraphina, there looks to be a new toggle in chat for rage.
I don't see that.
I have given you rage.
Oh. So I edited the use activity and I went to the effect and I clicked applied effects as rage. And then the activation is ability use on 1. So if I click this, spend 1 use of this activity, 2 uses available. Okay, there's that. So that worked. How do I... Oh, here we go. Is that just a toggle? That is a toggle. So if I click this, it did not toggle it on. Why did it not toggle it on?
Do you see in chat? There's rage, and then there's an arrow with a shadow by it. It should. I'll make a screenshot.
Arrow with a shadow.
Do you see like right at the bottom?
No. I don't see any of that.
You don't see any of that. Then
I
it might be.
I
might
see
be up to me.
Berserker bonus action in a minute. That's where it cuts off for me.
Interesting. Okay, so I'm in charge of that. I see.
Well, you don't.
It's DM control.
You don't really have to be. I think I got it. I think I got it to where. Why did I only get 1 of those back? Is because rage. Like, I can toggle on and off rage, which is something I can do manually. That's fine. But I just want to do, like, if I click this use action. Okay. So I got the use action to work. But
I'm the customs agent. It doesn't do it automatically because I have to.
Okay.
I have to approve it.
I mean, I can also just say I'm raging and then go into my effects and toggle rage on. That works.
Yes,
too.
you could. You could absolutely, but I'm starting to see how they prioritized 5e for Foundry, which is encouraging DM micromanagement. Which may be a setting somewhere else that I could fuck with.
What happens if I just click it? Okay, so if I rest, that comes back. If I click this, then click that, that number doesn't go down, but the other number does. Weird.
We'll figure it out.
Are you seeing my sheet right now?
No, I'm in the settings, seeing if there's something that can be sorted out. Directly with the module.
Oh. Well, I got it to where it's when I use the rage, it uses the resource. But it's not updating on the rage itself, but it updates on the use if I expand the rage.
Which is interesting, and probably just something that we have to deal with.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
If I close out this, I clicked
It is an unofficial
Yep.
fan made product. But I can
wish
still
I-
play Rage whenever I need. Whenever I need, whenever you take it, I have a button for myself.
All right, y'all. I'm heading to bed.
Well, thank you
Okay.
for hanging out and all your help today, Michael.
You are welcome. See you next time.
Bye bye.
Good night.